I watched Blade after 28 years and I want to rate it to see how it holds up after all this time. The system I created gives a rating to any project from 0 to 100 over 5 categories. These categories include storytelling, performances, visual arts, technical cohesion, and impact. After we rate it, then we can see where it lands on the scale from terrible to spectacular. Each category can earn up to 5 stars, and each star is worth up to 4 points. Half stars, quarter stars, tenths of a stars, that's not a thing here. You get the whole thing or you get nothing. Now that we got that out the way, let's dig into it. In the category of storytelling, there's so much that's left on the table. And like I said, with the underdevelopment of Dr. Jensen, the fumbled villain arc with Frost, the unexplored trauma with Blade, they could have done so much to bring this story to another level. But like I said, this is a horror film shot like an action film. And if I could give it 2 stars, I would, but the story they told is functional and it progresses like action films should. Nothing I say can take away from that fact, and they did their job to tell the story. That's why I'll give it 3 stars. In the performance category, I said that they were believable for the most part. Wesley brought Blade to life, and ain't no doubt about that. He had great chemistry with the entire cast, and it really allowed you to believe whatever was going on.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it, the real world. And if you want to survive it, you better learn to pull the trigger.
A small detail I have to say is that Quinn was a favorite of mine. Even though he only had a small role to play, he made sure to stand out at every chance he got. Ooh. Dr. Jensen and Whistler all did the best with what they got, and I would say that I enjoyed watching them, but not Frost. He took me out the movie so many times I couldn't do nothing but laugh.
I'll tell you what we are, sister.
All that to say, I gotta give the performances 3 stars. No major flaws, it's just completely functional. Frost is just a minor flaw.
Yeah, shut the fuck up!
Now, talking about the visual arts, they did a great job of setting the stage and bringing us so much texture to a world that we don't have access to. The cinematography is consistent the entire way through. They even have strong highlights in it that I had to point it out in its own cinematography video. Not only that, but the set design was great. Like the modernized coffin that Frost slept in, that's a great way to bring a centuries old tale into the modern world. The cinematography and production was a clear highlight of Blade. Absolutely loved it. I want to take a second to recognize that the movie came out in 1998, so when it comes to CGI and technical cohesion, I gotta keep this in mind because it was pretty good, but of course, it looks like it came out in 1998. The blood, the devil spirits, the cohesion of the practical effects with the computer generated effects, the sets, the editing, the sound, all the way through, I felt like I could appreciate the project that they put forth. But the reason why I can't rate it any higher than a 3 is because there's not enough range that I could actually appreciate. Like, the sound design was functional and cool, but nothing impressed me. And there was weird editing in some places, but it didn't like distract you when you're actually watching it. It's just that I've seen it so many times that I'm like, you don't think I noticed that sword ain't real? And for these reasons alone, I can't rate it any higher than a 3. But 3 decades later, I still enjoyed watching it. Now, when it comes to impact, Blade, in my opinion, is underrated when it comes to American pop culture. If it weren't for Blade, Marvel might have not have made it out of bankruptcy. People generally want to attribute the MCU to Iron Man, but without Blade, Marvel would have sold off Iron Man just like they did the Hulk, just like they did X-Men, and just like they did Spider-Man. To this day, when you think of Blade, you see the version of the black leather trench coat from Wesley Snipes. You don't see the blue jacket version from the comic book, or even that version that kind of looked like James Brown. This alone gives it 5 stars because it not only elevated the entire franchise, but it elevated the company itself. Nothing less than 5 stars for me, so argue with your mama. Now, all that being considered, Blade earned 68 points out of 100. That means that it's a good film. I believe it's better than average, and it hits the mark in some area, but it misses in a few others. But even so, it's still fun to watch. Now, do you agree with my rating? How many points did y'all give the film? I'll be diving into another film in the next videos, so make sure to follow the channel for more breakdowns and theories. Till then, I'm Tyreek, and this is The Cut.